about one of your instances that you've done a large deal. Like, what was the dollar amount to that deal? If you could share that with us, and like, what was the experience through that process?
I would say it wasn't a single. I think one of my best solo years, about 2022, I got like $1.8 million solo for like 10 different projects. And it ranged between the Omega Lamplighters, which is a youth program. Appreciate that. It was the Omega Lamplighters, which is a youth program under Omega Psi Phi fraternity. We got our first allocation there. I had one allocation for a suicide prevention program, another one for a scholarship for low-income college students, another one for elderly for youth students to essentially teach old people to stop being scammed online so they can understand. Because during the pandemic, everybody was scamming the old folks, right? So they ended up being a different mix there. Also, some money for people that were coming out of prison so that they could transition back into life well, so at least the workforce development part was there. So to me, it was more getting out of the narrative of DeSantis and the nonsense.
No, you right, son, my bad. Give him 90 yards. I told you I had it. What told his mama told me he needed a scholarship. He needed a change in his life. And I'm going to give it to him in Eugene, baby. I'm going to give it to him in Eugene right now. We're going to 90 yards. We're going to the 90 yards. There ain't no time to stay his home. Black on black line, nigga. Black on black line. Welcome to Black History Month, nigga. What's up? Welcome to Black History Month, my boy. Welcome to BHM. It's another one. Oh, we coming back. Don't worry. Woo! We're doing this for slavery, for civil rights, for Jim Crow. Hey, happy Black History Month. Happy.
Good evening. How y'all doing, man? Listen, my eyes are low. I've been smoking. It's just one of those things, right? First of all, if you were with us earlier, you already know Charlie Kirk, the conservative firebrand, was assassinated today in Utah. And it's crazy to think that in today's world of politics, your opinion can get you killed. I totally disagree with Charlie. I'm not saying he's a martyr. I'm not supporting none of the shit he was on, to be honest with you. The man was a father. I said it earlier. I streamed earlier today. Wow. After it was happening. And honestly, I'm not saying he's a martyr. I disagree with a lot of his positions about Kamala Harris, about Michelle Obama, about black women in general. I disagree with a lot of his criminality of black folks and assumptions that really didn't translate to the lives everyday people live. Now, Chicago, completely different. But at the end of the day, I think it's a scary time in America, in this country, where your thoughts can get you killed. And in my lifetime, I turned 40 a couple weeks ago, 25th. I guess you shouldn't even share shit online these days. You know, motherfuckers crazy, to be real, right? I've never seen no shit like I remember 9/11. I was in high school 9/11. It was a half day. I was in journalism in high school, and I remember interviewing some of my teachers. It was people getting off. I had my little notebook. I'm like, oh my God, what do you think's happening? All this other shit, right? And we've seen how that transpired and what happened from there. But I've never seen somebody assassinated in front of thousands of people wide open. They tried it with Trump. They got him in the ear. There's some questions behind that now, I guess, because it makes you kind of think to yourself, like, damn, this looks completely fucking different. Respectfully, I'll leave it there. But prayers and thoughts to the Kirk family and his wife. People have different opinions on it. I'm not going to be a race savior or a racist savior or beta or whatever, but I'm just don't feel that the man should have been assassinated that way. But then again, hey, who am I? Because God's timing is God's timing. We can feel how we want to feel. Conspiracy theorists, some people we saw earlier tonight, we're talking earlier today when I was streaming, and this could be a conspiracy. That he was talking about transgenders and guns and gun violence when the second question came, and maybe that was a signal. The man's body wasn't even cold. And the shot was... Every time I see it, I just think of a battlefield or a war zone sniper glint. How the fuck? Like, even, to be real, before I even get into where we need to be, we get into the Trump message, everything else, right? How the fuck we have snipers on buildings after the Trump attempted assassination last summer? Let's be fucking for real. I know, hey, he got his own security. I don't give a fuck. The last one was laying on top of a building 200 yards away. This one, the same thing. The president made an announcement tonight about it. I know the conservative base is hurt. Again, prayers to the family more than anything. I wouldn't want to wish that pain on my wife, or anybody's wife, anybody's family. We're gonna get into Big Trump here, speaking about the good conservative that's gone. I honestly want to know what happens to the movement. I'll ask that question. What happens to the movement after this? Let's get into Big Trump, then I'll ask.
My great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now.
Come on now, Trump.
My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
I'll be real with you. I don't think the president mentioned, I could be off, I can go back, chat. Did he mention the state representative that was killed by a fake police officer in Minnesota? That was like a month or 2 ago, right? I'm not justifying anything. What I'm saying is shit's got out of control. Because the Shapiro shooting happened at the softball field maybe 6 to 10 years ago. No lie. Respectfully. He survived. You know, hopefully never happens again. But like the president said, he had a assassination attempt on his life last year. And we're right back to square one. That's the part I don't understand. And it's like, take the politics out of it. Because right now, Ben Shapiro's canceling his stuff. Myron that does the podcast that blasts black women and black people and all this other stuff. Guess what? Hey, it could be an attack on podcasters. But people sick of the bullshit. And I think to even relate this as a liberal thing doesn't respect or give reference enough to, Charlie's life. Right? And some people, if you go on Twitter right now, listen, X, Twitter, they're going in on Charlie. And that's why I want to be very respectful before I get into, the rest of the stream. Pay my respects. But this isn't the American dream. This isn't the America that most people signed up for. And it's crazy to think that they chopped the head of the snake off today. I don't know what happens next. Let's see what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to say. Actually, I got a better video. I saw one. Go back. Was that Forbes? Anyway, what do y'all feel? I haven't checked the chat yet. Wanna wait?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And make sure it looks right for where we at. All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking about Charlie Kirk's assassination in Utah. See what my girl got to say. Not my girl. Shit. My bad. I'll be real. That's not my girl.
That's something that a lot of us were talking about on the House floor. I've got some of the most death threats in Congress, but today really isn't about me. And I think I just keeping my focus on Charlie's life and his 2 young children, and of course his family and the whole Turning Point USA family. And it's the worst thing. Shocking, and everyone's really devastated. My children are devastated. Just everyone I know.
Oh yeah, I'm high. Don't get it twisted.
There really aren't words.
Can you speak to his importance to the conservative movement, to your own political rise?
I really think what was great about Charlie Kirk, and I was just telling
Hold on. This
he
isn't
would go
respectful.
on college campuses and tell young.
That's not a good one. Hold on, let me switch over here. I saw it earlier, but I don't know where they were in this interview. I just paused it. We have AOC. We have my girl Marjorie. Let's start with AOC first.
The amount of people that I have a lot of left friends, and I love my left friends just as much as I love my right-wing friends. But to watch them laugh at somebody, a father, a husband.
Down while praying. Are we going to do something, or are we going to argue over
views? And if we could just
come down while praying?
Views, and if we could just
I
come together,
gotta
we
wait.
might
I
come
gotta
up
see
with
what
a
she had.
solution
I got
instead
AOC
of
get the party popping too.
combating each other.
Well, let's get some more political reaction to the shooting. Here's what Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told reporters.
Hey, Joe.
What has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest evolution and instance of political violence in the United States, and it must end. Every single day, people are dying due to gun violence in America, and every single day, there are people in this building that continue to vote against doing anything. They vote against universal background checks. They continue to support legislation and also remove any way to block the mentally ill, to block extremists, to block people with histories and records of domestic violence from getting guns in their hands. So are we going to do something about this or not? We have a political assassination that happened at the same time as a school shooting where children are dying on the same day, a week after a shooting at a Catholic school where children were gunned down while praying. Are we going to do something, or are we going to argue over rhetoric? That is my question about this. We have to pass gun safety legislation and stop this.
And US Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene gave her reaction to the shooting.
Today really isn't about me, and I think I just keeping my focus on Charlie's wife and his 2 young children, and of course his family and the whole Turning Point USA family. And it's the worst thing, shocking, and everyone's really devastated. My children are devastated. Just everyone I've known. There really aren't words.
Can you speak to his importance to the conservative movement, to your own political rise?
I really think what was great about Charlie Kirk, and I was just telling Tia this, is he would go on college campuses and tell young people to get married and have children, and just talk about how wonderful it is to be married and have children. He shared the Word of God. He was a Christian, and he
I just hope that whenever people have great things to say about me, they look past all the negative bullshit like the Republicans are going to do them for Charlie Kirk, right? Because clearly, you got to watch what you put in the atmosphere, and you got to watch what you say. But a lot of it is, yes, you can look at the positivity of preaching about family and God and everything, but he also said, you know what, black men, I don't think you're qualified to be a pilot. I think that just because United made it more available, more frequent for more diversity, equity, and inclusion, more black minority pilots, that I wouldn't trust you as a pilot or a heart surgeon. Forget your years of schooling. I think that because of affirmative action, you got there. Now there's a group of people who are conflicted to say, you know what, damn, this racist motherfucker just got shot. And you want me to give a fuck? That's how some people are feeling. Don't believe me? We'll go to X. And it's not to say, okay, damn, he deserved it. I'm trying to say, you know, you just put some things in the atmosphere about the Second Amendment, about some murders need to happen. Some gun violence needs to happen. And this happens, and I hate to say it, to AOC's point, to be real, none of the shit she said made sense. Because you can have the background check, you can screen the guns, you can provide the mental checks. Yeah, that's great. There's still be somebody in their right mind with a sniper 200 yards away trying to make history and change everybody's course of life. Because this feels like, and I'm not trying to say Charlie Kirk is him, but it feels like a John F. Kennedy assassination. Because the shot was a shot. Like Steph Curry, Jordan in the fourth. Turn around, fade away. God damn, I can't believe it. I'm in shock. I apologize to the people, my group chat I shared it with without pre-warning. Because they didn't even know what the fuck was happening. Like everybody in the audience who now has to go get some kind of trauma care treatment. Listen, if you're a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist in Utah, There are about 3,000 people and families that need you. Their mothers and fathers who like my son and my daughter was there, and I'm thousands or hundreds of miles away. And yeah, what am I supposed to do? There's real life implications from this. But I just hope that people find something positive to say about me and look past all the negative bullshit. If I ever called you out and said, you know what, hey, you don't hire black people, is hiring black people hurting your brand? I'd say, you know what, hey, talk about the positive things I've done, like Dr. King would say. Nothing negative. If I said you're a piece of shit and I don't fuck with you and your fake ass, guess what? Talk about the positive things in my moment when you could say positive things about me. Because even though you could focus on the negative about Charlie Kirk, of course, being a racist, a transphobe, a homophobe, everything else, anti-DEI, he didn't deserve to go out like that. On the record.
He shared the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he encouraged young people. And he also would have debates on ideas on college campuses, which, I mean, that's our First Amendment, and college campuses have always been a place for that. And I believe...
Name one inflammatory comment he made. Oh, let's get to it. I got something ready for you. Don't worry.
And we're honestly shocked. We're devastated, shocked, and angry. And those are just natural feelings.
How close were you to him?
Charlie Kirk was a friend. He was a good friend. I spoke at many of his events over the years, knew him when he was a lot younger. And, I mean, he's not much older than my oldest daughter. But I just think it's really, honestly, horrific.
What kind of legacy does he leave behind to the conservative?
Charlie Kirk leaves a huge legacy. It's going to be hard for anybody to fill his shoes. He was extremely important. Students all over the country would get very excited if they found out he was coming to their college campus. He brought in thousands of people to hear him speak. Even people that didn't agree with him would come, ask questions, even argue with him. He was always about the debate. And Charlie Kirk was never for violence. And to see him murdered in such a graphic way in front of the camera, and that video is too gruesome. Honestly, I hope it gets taken down. I don't think his wife or children one day should ever see it. I really hope it gets taken down.
Widespread condemnation across the political spectrum in the US, but also here in the UK to Charlie Kirk's killing. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer wrote...
Let's just go to listen, I'm telling you now. Twitter, X, they're not playing. Like, this is one with X owned by Elon, the former Twitter, does not care about this. Because Charlie Kirk's old tweet, did I just get shot by an AR-15? Feels like it.
Yay! In they brain. Bitch ass nigga, you push back, you better not ever try it again. Don't play with me. Show on my watch, mama. Still top nigga.
This is a prime example of the devil's chickens coming back home to roost. That the chickens that he sent out, the violence that he's perpetrated in other countries, here and abroad, be it 4 children in Birmingham or Medgar Evers or Lumumba in Africa, I think this same violence has come back to claim one of their own. Now, being an old farm boy myself, chickens coming home to roost never made me sad. In fact, it's only made me glad. Not your neighbor's barnyard. I think this is a prime example of the devil's chickens coming back home to roost. That the chickens that he sent out, the violence that he's perpetrated in other countries here.
I hate to do this, but they took this from Malcolm X, the movie. This isn't even like the authentic speech. That's Denzel Washington right there. I get it. I just, you know, it would be better if it was a real Malcolm X right there, not Denzel. Now, this is America. Multiple shootings. Today, while Charlie Kirk was speaking, while the rest of the world was focused on that, there was shootings happening all over the country. It's a wild world we're living in. An open door. Listen, that's all other stuff. That's not this. Let's check this out. Let's see. This is what is this me? What Casanat had to say?
That's the guy with like the crazy ass takes, right? Or some shit. He be saying some crazy. He be saying some crazy shit, right? Holy shit! What the fuck? Don't watch, okay, bet. He got assassinated. Shit.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
All right, chat.
I ain't gonna hold you. When I seen it for the first time, chat. Like, yeah, I do Casanat. You gotta say chat every 10 seconds, right? When I seen the shit, I was shocked. I had stood floored. The Yankees posted it. Robert Kennedy, like everybody's mourning on some kind of aspect because they didn't believe that people should go out this way. Sage Steele, this is the one. Now people feel some type of way about Sage Steele, especially melanated folks. She be going too hard. She goes too hard in the paint. But let me fix it up here. Hold on. She wanted to share her pain on her homeboy. See what Sage Steele has to say. You may not agree with it, but everybody has an opinion. Everybody's kind of hurt by this. So
I still have no idea what the right words are right now to describe what has happened today to, in my opinion, one of the greatest Americans ever. You can disagree with me on that, but I've said it for the last couple of years as I saw the difference Charlie Kirk was making in going around to college campuses to talk to the youth, to talk to the future of America, to have a conversation, which is what so many people are unwilling and are afraid to do, but Charlie wasn't. And he went around these college campuses and he let kids speak, let them say what was on their mind, give their opinion, and then he gave his with facts as well. He did what so many people refuse to do. He is the reason why my kids decided they wanted to have an interest in politics and at least be educated. Most importantly, he was such a man of God. Charlie Kirk is one of the reasons that I'm no longer afraid to wear this. I didn't for such a long time.
That's crazy.
And he gave me the courage to do so.
That's actually crazy to think about when you really
his
put it
faith
together.
in God, his love for his wife, his love for his children. And that was his goal, to make this country a better place for his kids and yours and mine. I am heartbroken, I am devastated, and I am livid. What they want is for us to have fear and to go hide because of things like this. And maybe in some ways, I don't know, maybe we should. We have to do things differently, certainly. But Charlie knew the risk. Every day, he had security detail with him. And sometimes nothing can protect us.
We're going to be paying it.
I know this too, though. Charlie would not want us to go hide and to be quiet and to run away from the evil, from the people that hate us, who happen to be the same people who preach about diversity of thought and tolerance. And look, they kill him because they don't like his opinions. And they don't like the fact that he was winning. Charlie Kirk already won. It is our loss and the world's loss today. But man, God's plan for Charlie, look what he did in 31 short years. Thank you, Charlie Kirk, for everything, for giving up your life for us. And Erica, you have millions praying for you. I love you, we love you. And guess what? We're not going away. We're gonna be here for Charlie.
I've never seen somebody cap so hard. And no, all due respect, everybody grieves different, right? Respectfully. But I don't know people who really care about you, who like you, who fuck with you. And I know the president's different. He's a president. You know, he's got to still, he could be hurting. It may have taken him, it may have been AI. The video like this in the comments. But bro, Sage Steele, please sit your ass down somewhere, bro. Respectfully, bro. Like, all due respect. Reverence for life, not for what it is, right? Shut the fuck up. I mean, you know why? Because if you're really hurt, you're not making a video. You're not even making a cry video. You're talking this out of script. It's almost as if, hear me now, all due respect for the situation, but it's like these black Republicans are trying too hard, right? Like my dog Byron McDonald's, he's probably connected to Charlie. He's probably, oh yeah, should have had to suck the cigar, be the only black guy in the room. Cool, that's cool. But Sage, you don't look like you just lost. You're grieving different, and maybe we're a different society where these old people just want to grieve on social media. Please sit your ass down and go get a journal. That's my 2 cents on this. I say still sorry ass though, but let's see what else they got on here.
Better in the 1940s. It was bad. It was evil. But what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
That's your explanation, but I guess
racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is worse than it has been
that
in the last
affected
80 years.
the generational psyche of an entire group of people?
No, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that. I'm just it shows they were actually better.
Yeah, Sarah, I was watching a little bit of that Jubilee earlier, but the problem with Jubilee is some of these debaters don't have real facts, but she was good. This is really who I think hurts the most. I feel sorry for the mother and these kids. Because now these kids have to grow up with a memory of their father and all his speeches. Like even the fact I get to, drop my kid off to school and wake him up, and he may wake up in the next 45 minutes and interrupt the stream, right? But as a new father, I've only done this about 4 years now. It's a fact of seeing, like, that's the part where I've just, that kind of pain is the part where it's like, that's who I feel the most sorriest for, right? That hurts. And the image in itself is painful, but knowing that your partner, who God divined you to be with, is gone, it's like, okay, I can't tell you, of course, I can share my opinion, right? Maybe it has to end. Maybe you carry the torch forward, right? But there's gonna be a part of saying, like, bruh, your life and your family's life isn't worth it, because now the biggest whatever you have, and that's the worst part for me, is I don't want to not be with my kid. So imagine you have two, and you're the provider. People know you around the world. And this is what people don't think about. So it's like they make it political. They'll say, hey, gun rights, background checks. They'll see, I'm on the quote because she just said it. They talk about Marjorie saying, oh, they preach God. He went around college campuses preaching God. Or somebody mixed all that together and said, you know what, you got to go. And it's sad that we live in America like that. Because honestly, I'm not agreeing with anything he was saying. But if it happened, God forbid it happened to Al Sharpton or any black leader out there, there's going to be riots and protests in the streets. People are going to be upset. Hey, hold on. CAVGG, thank you. I appreciate you for throwing a contribution to the chat, to the community. I really do appreciate you. Please make sure y'all like and subscribe. I want to take a moment to say thank you, for real, brother. I don't ask for it. I just want to speak my mind, right? But to be honest, if it was the other way around, it would be a lot more uproar. So people are going to, hey, justify this, whatever. And it's like, that's not the America we live in. But again, my thoughts and prayers are to the mother, to the wife, to the widow, Kirk family. I don't like this guy. I never liked his opinions. But that's besides the point, because now everybody, political, everybody out there, like, listen, they're going to think different about what they're saying and what they're doing out here. I'm going to tell people proudly, like, listen, I'm a lobbyist, I'm a government affairs, I work in politics. I told an Uber driver the other day, I'm an energy consultant, I am. I don't even want to leave the conversation with politics right now, right? It's gone. That's what my thoughts and prayers are with. Because in anything, in any war, you have innocent bystanders, and she was innocent bystanders because honestly thinking like, you know what, my husband's coming home, somebody's gonna take the kids to school, you say you're gonna get off, you just started your tour, you make sure you're gonna take a break. It's like all the things you would plan as a family, a wife. My wife, you know, she's not stresses, she plans. She's a planner. Look, sidebar, women love to plan, but they never know what they want to eat. Sidebar to that completely. However, but it's completely unbelievable that this would happen. So take race out of it, take politics out of it, take a narrative of Second Amendment rights, gun control, mental health. This should have never happened. Because people aren't thinking about that mother now and how she has to adjust on top of the people that were right around that fenced area, those first couple rows, and the trauma they're gonna have to go through. It's wild. It's wild to think about. Give me 1 second. I gotta put up another video. I gotta get some water too, but I'm gonna put up another video while we're there. Give me a second to load up. If it's your first time here, let me make it full. No, I'll leave it here. First time here, I'm the hip hop lobbyist, a professional lobbyist in the state of Florida, the great state of Florida, with the America's governor, Ron DeSantis. I'm a Democrat, a Black Democrat in Florida as a lobbyist that's professional and actually being able to work in this process to get things done. But regardless of it, thank you for tapping into the channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe. In April, we only had 400 subscribers. I started tweeting. I started posting more, streaming. And then we were close to 5,000 now, 4,700 when I started. So if you help me push to that 5,000 mark, I'd appreciate you. I don't want to profit off of this by getting there, but altogether, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. He wasn't my dog. I'm not going to say, oh, rest in peace to my dog, Charlie Kirk. Pour some liquor out. You know, it's one of those things. But I'm going to go to a...
Joining me here tonight is...
Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. I'm going to flip over there. We'll get back to some Twitter stuff. Let me just move some things around. Y'all be patient with me, please. You know, I'm a streamer, streaming, but I'm not a professional streamer. However, but if you want to follow on Twitch, I'm streaming on Twitch right now. Also YouTube, I'm streaming vertically and Canvas. So if you're like, hey, I'm on my phone, I'm watching it on my shorts. I was on my shorts and all of a sudden I seen this guy. Hey, I appreciate you tapping in. But again, you want to switch over to your TV, you want to switch over to your computer, I'm streaming on Canvas. Just make sure you go to the Hip Hop Lobbyist channel. You see 2 streams. So I'm streaming there as well, and Twitch as well. Hip Hop Lobbyist, HIPHOP LOBBYIST. I am your boy. Let me get to this. I'm gonna make sure my videos are right. Let me square you up there. Mike Johnson speaking. Let's go.
Is the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. I mean, Speaker Johnson, this has been nothing short of a horrific day. Tell me what you're thinking tonight.
I have a lot of thoughts right now. Devastating to hear that account from Miss Terry there. Our hearts go out to all the students who are there, everyone who's experienced this. The video has been online. But clearly, to the young widow of Charlie, to his young children, to all of his friends and family, we all are counted among his friends. Something happened on Capitol Hill today. We were talking right before we came on the air. It's changed the atmosphere in the place, one of alarm, shock. I mean, I was just communicating with Charlie, I don't know, a few days back. He was a good friend. It doesn't seem real. And what we loved about Charlie was that he loved to engage debate, and he genuinely respected and genuinely loved, in a Christian manner, the people on the other side of the table. He didn't hate anybody. You know, he had vigorous debate, but that's kind of the point. But he was trying to win the argument, but he had great compassion for the people that he was debating, always. And he had the right heart about it. He represented free speech. You know, we talk about the free marketplace of ideas, and I think President George W. Bush said the college campus is supposed to be that. Charlie Kirk, I think, contributed more productive.
Oh, give me 1 second, because I have 9 minutes for this video. I want to take a moment to thank Nicholas, SH, for y'all contributing to the channel as well, and the page. Really do appreciate the support. Let me get back to Mike Johnson, but everybody tapping in tonight. Again, Twitch. I may do TikTok, but Twitch, YouTube. Thank y'all for supporting the page tonight. Thank you.
Productive content to the free marketplace of ideas than anyone in his generation. It's a great and tragic loss, and we'll be dealing with this for quite a long time.
When you say it changed the mood on Capitol Hill today, I mean, we just saw reaction coming in from Republicans and Democrats alike condemning this. Yeah. What do you mean that you think it changed the mood?
Well, in that sense, it unifies everybody on both sides of the aisle. We have to call out political violence. I think there is a recognition, some are saying it openly, some more quietly, that the vitriol, the level that is there now, the hatred that has been fomented, you know, there's a time that we've got to turn the volume down. And I think there's a lot of the people, I think, that find pleasure in stoking that fire, and it's dangerous. There are deranged people in society.
That's what's just so
and if they are encouraged along this way, they will do dangerous things, increasingly so. We see that. So I think that members of Congress have come to that recognition. I think many of them are nervous, of course. They're public figures. They're exposed all the time, everywhere. We have great security measures for members of Congress, but there's a desire on many people's parts to have more. These are the new realities. I think social media has been a toxin in politics. I think it has added to this vitriol. But at the end of the day, I think the call is that we've got to recognize once more that we are all fellow Americans. We should see one another as colleagues and fellow citizens and fellow countrymen, and not as enemies. That's not what Charlie Kirk represented. He genuinely loved the debate because he genuinely loved the people. And I think that's a really important thing for us to remember.
On lawmakers, I mean, have you heard from members who want heightened security because of what happened to Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, of course. There's been a deluge of that. I mean, from the moment all this took place. And we're looking at that. We have to take serious measures for serious times. But, you know, the encouragement again is to resort to our better angels, as Abraham Lincoln reminded the people at another time of great division. And, you know, to get back to the fundamental principles. This is not who we are in America. You know, we're founded on these founding principles that we're going to celebrate in earnest next year on our super centennial.
Yeah.
You know, it's built on the idea that we're all created equal, we're all made in the image of God, and everybody has an estimable dignity and value. We need to treat one another with civility, and I think this is an important reminder.
Well, and it's notable to hear you say that there are lawmakers who want more security as a result of this. I don't think that's surprising to anyone to just see what happened, because he did have security that was there with him. Yeah. Obviously, the campus obviously could have used more. But on what you were saying there about what people say in this political environment, especially where it's turbocharged a lot of times on Capitol Hill, and do you think today provides a greater recognition of how sometimes those messages come across to other people who take them more seriously maybe than some members of Congress do when they're saying it or tweeting it or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's clear. You've had people who have resorted to political violence because they were encouraged along by the dialogue out in the public square, and some of that is put forward by elected officials and people with large platforms, large social media platforms, and they're saying and doing things that make it personal, and people direct their anger to individuals. I mean, this is not who we are. We're better than this. We need to be setting an example as Americans. We are the free marketplace of ideas. We celebrate and defend vigorously free speech. Charlie Kirk did that, as well as anybody that I know. You know, and he never shied away from debate. But he did it in the right spirit, and I think that's what we've got to get back to. You know, it wasn't personal.
You know, and what you said tonight, I mean, I think a lot of people look at this and say, I mean, everyone knows someone who voices their opinion or is this strong debate or maybe says something that is turning the rhetoric up. But in terms of what we saw on Capitol Hill tonight, I think everyone would agree elected leaders have a bigger responsibility than just anyone else. You were trying to call a moment of silence in the House earlier after we had confirmed that Charlie Kirk was killed today. I want people to see what happened on Capitol Hill when you tried to do that.
Let's wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Oh wait, I didn't know that. Gotta find that.
The House will be in order.
Can you tell those of us who weren't there what was happening there?
Yeah, we had convened. We were having an oath of office ceremony for a new member who was just elected in a special election, a Democrat. And we were going to vote in a series of votes on the National Defense Authorization Act. But before that, this was right after the event, we had just convened the House again, and I thought it was appropriate to have a moment of prayer and reflection for Charlie Kirk. As I was approaching the rostrum, people's phones were saying that he had been deceased, but it wasn't formally called yet. The emotion was very high in the room. We had a moment of silence, and after that, a member stood to be recognized and said, "Let's have open prayer." And that started a debate. And people felt like it was being politicized on the Democrat side of the aisle, I guess. There were some shouts and groans, and then the Republicans responded, and it turned into a little bit of chaos there. We had to bring order back and get back to it. But I think that was a reflection of the emotion of the moment, the real sense of kind of shock that people were feeling, I think justifiably, understandably. But I think after that, I think a lot of people will reflect upon things they said and did in that moment, and they probably regret it. Let's say this, I think there's a lot of people in the media who have said some things today that they probably regret. We need to be thinking thoughtfully about our language and what we're saying and how we treat one another. And this could be a big moment in America. I feel like something has changed. I do. I think it's a real moment in the country. You described the mood, our President Trump described the mood, President George W. Bush, everyone. Let's use this for something positive and productive as we lift up in prayer Charlie's widow and young children and everybody involved in this.
But I wonder, given that's what happened in the House of Representatives in a moment where you're just trying to call for a moment of silence, that people might see that and hear your words tonight and say, you sound more optimistic than others about turning it down or reaching that moment. What would you say to people who are skeptical about it?
Well, I understand the skepticism, but I do think we all need to be optimists. We're going to channel, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, let us really appeal to our better angels. We're in a pivotal moment as a nation. We're coming up on our 250th birthday. We're still at a grand experiment in self-governance. We don't know how long this grand experiment will last. We don't have a monarch. We don't have a king to sort things out. It's government of, by, and for the people ourselves. It means the people should be engaged. They should be informed. They should engage in thoughtful debate, as Charlie Kirk was a model and a leader in. But at the end of the day, you can't take that home and you can't hate the person on the other side. We're all in this together. And we do well to remember that. And when we do,
I mean, the problem is, Speaker Johnson, respectfully, people on the other side of the aisle, marginalized communities, they don't see it that way. They see it more as a fact of it's the good old boy system. And honestly, you even know it's a good old boy system. You can't tell me that you don't, because you being Speaker makes sure that those Republican donors that support you get some policies that benefit them too. And they could be in the big, beautiful bill. It can be in this Defense Act. It can be in something. Contracts, farm bills, SNAP benefits. Got to be something in there for somebody that you're supporting, right? But then how do we get back to the American people? And right now, I think the American people could be scared. Both sides of the aisle, because Democrats are saying one thing, Republicans are saying the next. But at the end of the day, a lot of people haven't seen a grown man assassinated in their live eyes in person. We could talk about black on black crime. We could talk about Chicago. Is Trump sending the National Guard to Utah to find out what the fuck happened to his boy Charlie Kirk? That's the question, Speaker Johnson. The people need to know where the National Guard is, because we could talk about Chicago. We could talk about D.C. But this is in a conservative state of Utah. Super conservative state of Utah. So this didn't happen in no Democratic stronghold. This happened in a Republican stronghold that can't be shook. That's crazy. We had AOC on earlier. Mike Johnson's kind of boring. Let me go back to AOC for a second. The
What has
video.
just transpired is tremendously disturbing.
Going over her whole interview. I think we only did a portion of it earlier. Make sure my visuals are better. Thank y'all for tapping into the stream as well.
What has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest evolution and instance of political violence in the United States, and it must end.
What was your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment? What message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment and the rhetoric that has been put out in the media?
You know, beyond rhetoric, we need to talk about action, and we need to talk about, yes, there are words, but most importantly, we are in a job of leadership. We are in a job of action. We are in a role and a position where the American people are looking to us to do something about this. And every single day, people are dying due to gun violence in America. And every single day, there are people in this building that continue to vote against doing anything. They vote against universal background checks. They continue to support legislation and also remove any way to block the mentally ill, to block extremists, to block people with histories and records of domestic violence from getting guns in their hands. So are we going to do something about this or not? We have a political assassination that happened at the same time as a school shooting where children are dying on the same day, a week after a shooting at a Catholic school where children were gunned down while praying. Are we going to do something, or are we going to argue over rhetoric? That is my question about this. We have to pass gun safety legislation and stop this.
What one congresswoman was yelling, a Republican said that it was Democrats' fault. Democrats did this. That's what we heard her say on the House floor.
I mean, people can finger point all they want. Look at the record. Look at the actions of what we are doing. I don't think a single person who has dedicated their entire career to preventing gun safety legislation from getting passed in this House has any right to blame anybody else but themselves for what is happening. We have to stop this. We can stop this. And why don't we start by acknowledging that basic common sense gun safety legislation is not taking away a gun, is not attacking the Second Amendment, but it is about ensuring the safety of our children, of women, of people across this country, to ensure that guns and firearms do not get in the hands of people who are going to use them against human beings, period. Domestic violence is one of the highest indicators of whether a person is going to kill someone else with a gun or not. There are so many other indicators, and I think it is so deeply important that when a politician tries to blame words for inaction, they need to look at their action and their record. Enough of this. This is horrific. This is awful. And the assassination of Charlie Kirk risks an uncorking of political chaos and violence that we cannot risk in America. We cannot risk it. Congressman.
And that's AOC. And we had some of her commentary earlier. I'm going to switch over to the next video, which is going to be Cuomo. I know some of y'all are not AOC fans, so I'm going to just get the girl off before y'all get to
Chris Cuomo here. Thank you for being with Newsnation.
Dog look crazy. Hold on. Yeah, it's a little better. Too many arms. I'm umming a lot. I heard that. Let me stop umming. I don't like the fact that they're making this political. Because it hasn't even been 12 hours. Not even 24 hours. It hasn't even been 12 hours for real. So the fact that it's been political is kind of crazy. One thing I did kind of check is, with like 4,993 subscribers on the channel, that means 70 of y'all gotta do it like a preacher. 70 of y'all right now and today, I need y'all to just get up out of your chairs and hit the subscribe button so we can get to 5,000. Once we get to 5,000, I'll just be happy regardless. It's just another milestone. Boom. I was supposed to be here a month ago, but I took a break off politics because even the Charlie Kirk stuff right before this, I got to a point after 4th of July where I was, hey, I'm going to start streaming. But then there was this foundational Black American narrative against Caribbean Americans, Africans that live in America. A whole lot of other stuff. And I told myself, I just need to take a break from the stream and from politics in general. And a part of it is it's so polarizing that you could be fighting all day. You could be fighting narratives, fighting conservatives, fighting Republicans, fighting Democrats, fighting liberals. They're all different factions if you didn't know, right? And I just felt myself being drained. So I left for a second. Now I'm coming back, you know, saw another streamed earlier today, streaming now, whatever, right? But it got to a point of it's so much happening that you could get lost in the mix of what the fuck's actually going on. And I think that this, I hate to say it, kind of brings America together before 9/11. Craziest, like you can't tell me the CIA and FBI can't be behind this, some of this a little bit, right? Because we're going through a day of remembrance tomorrow where people have memories of losing family. And now all of a sudden we're sitting here losing that, looking at Charlie Kirk as if he's a martyr. I don't know if this is in the Project 2025 playbook. It doesn't work for me. Let's check out Chris Cuomo. We're going to go back to X. And I'm going to have some Charlie Kirk takes off TikTok that I'm going to pull in, because I saw something earlier that we're kind of discussing opinion-wise, because I get it again. I want friends who speak highly of me like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because if you can sidestep all the negative I may do and only highlight the positive and link it to God of me saving families and preaching the word on Christian college campuses or college campuses across the country, then yeah, I need that kind of friend.
Moments like this matter. Charlie Kirk murdered at a university in Utah, doing what he thought was part of the solution.
Set this up on vertical.
President Trump first announced his death and ordered flags half-staff. FBI Director Kash Patel just announced that they have a suspect in custody. There's some question about whether or not it's a person of interest or a suspect. We're going to know who did this. We're going to know why. And I don't even know that that part really matters, and we'll talk about that. But I knew Charlie Kirk. I saw sides of him that were not his public persona. You know him as a digital big shot who helped organize young voters for President Trump and really helped get him elected, which made him a hero to some and a devil to others. But Turning Point USA made a difference. And then Charlie did something really special. He started going around the country telling students to prove him wrong. And he made debate and disagreeing without being disagreeable cool again.
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal.
In fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to know.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules, because a black person is going to say you're wrong. I totally sympathize. That's not true. It's never the only choice to commit a crime, and we should not put up with it. And so it is an insult to other immigrants from Vietnam and Laos and Pakistan that have to wait decades in line to morally equivalate people that come in and just break in. Oh, I have an unstable country. Like half of the world's countries are unstable.
You know, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe he's gone. I don't even know what to do with it. That he was murdered at one of the events that he thought was part of the solution. and I agreed with him. I didn't agree with his politics or a lot of the positions, but so what? Killed for his ideas? For his feelings about
yo, I didn't know I was muted,
Trump
yo.
or Israel?
Oh my
Was the
God, I didn't
shooter
know
a
I was
lefty?
muted. I was talking the whole time I was muted, man. That's so crazy. I muted my shit. My bad, y'all. Oh my God, bruh. I was preaching too. Oh, I was preaching something serious. I can't even remember what the fuck I said. It was a good ass soundbite. Oh my God, that's so fucking embarrassing. Cause I muted to get the TikTok shits in the background for Charlie Kirk, right? So I'm going like yeah, bitch. I checked back and see no mic, no sound. I'm like, God, dog, y'all muted. God damn, bruh. Y'all need to text me. Which one? Listen. Which one of y'all want to join my Discord so y'all could bump me next time? You know what I'm saying? Like this. I don't even remember what the fuck I just said. I freestyled and fucked up. Make sure y'all like and subscribe for more, man. God, dog, man. This is what happens when you're on producer. Oh God, let me get back to it. I'm gonna pay attention.
Or crazy? Or both?
I was looking crazy too, I bet.
Well, no. There is no advantage in this, and I know some want there to be. I know some want this to be proof of something that they think is helpful to their cause. But to me, all I see is a kid. And to me, for all Charlie achieved, personally and professionally, he was only 31 years old. He and his beautiful wife, they were just starting a family. They have 2 little babies. And that's all I think. That's all I see. Is that I can't believe he's gone for this. And yet, everything in my head tells my heart, wake up. Wake up. This is who we are. This is where we are. And going to this group tonight, all the security concerns, my representatives worried about what kind of security I'm going to have and where are the threats and should we take all these threats we've been getting more seriously. The president said the right thing, did the right thing with the flag, in my opinion. Democratic lawmakers, Jews, kids, our president, everybody's getting shot at. This is what we're doing. This is how we express ourselves. I know everyone.
I know what I was saying. And now I gotta check my lows and mics on now so I can say it again. I was spitting last time. I know what I was saying. Cuomo said earlier he's surprised to see this happen to Charlie Kirk. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because when Luigi pulled up on the CEO of that insurance company, shot him dead, outside the building, that should have been an eye-opener. And realistically, it should have been an eye-opener last summer when they tried to assassinate President Trump. So it means 2 things. One of 2 things happened. This is exactly what I said when I was muted, right? It either means that the law enforcement is fucking up and letting this happen, or we need to fund the police more collectively. Because you know why? Here's why. How can a presidential candidate, a former president, almost get assassinated, right? The CEO of a major insurance company get assassinated. 2 state elected officials get killed by someone who dressed up as a police officer. You mean to tell me there wasn't a red flag going on somewhere to say, hey, podcasters just want to be out here podcasting and offending people at the same time on debate, right? All the rest of this shit, there shouldn't have been a standard red flag. I'm not talking about a background check for your guns, because you already got the snipers. You already got it, right? What I'm talking about is a level of security to say, check this shit out for real, even if you check the thumbnail that I used. If you look at the thumbnail I use on YouTube, you're looking in the same direction he was shot. You mean to tell me nobody's on the rooftop? Nobody is on the rooftop after they tried to assassinate a presidential candidate. They killed the CEO of an insurance company, and 2 state elected officials were killed by a fake undercover dressed up cop. No, you wouldn't think that podcasters and political commentators and everyone else would be a victim, but who the fuck thought these other people were either? Does that mean that we fund more security? Should Secret Service go and be protected for every entertainer and every celebrity and anybody who has a political view out there that can draw legions of people? What's the cost to that? But what's also the cost to it, respectfully, and I said this when I was muted, what's the cost to it when former Vice President Kamala Harris has security and we cut it from her 2 weeks before this event today happens? The day before September 11th, the day of remembrance, where we mourn the loss of what the fuck's happened in American history. You know, they attacked us. I remember where I was on 9/11. I remember where I was when I heard Charlie Kirk got assassinated. And I also remember or hear the fact that they had people pull up on Kamala Harris's house, the California State Patrol officers, because Gavin Newsom said, hey, we're going to take care of your Secret Service is going to be there because of the death threats that you received. It was extended out 6 months, but for 18 months. The issue is, somebody asked, does this affect my everyday life? Most people don't know how most politics affect everyday life, but to the point of it is, God willing, it never happens. But if this was Kamala Harris, that security shit would have happened, it would have been a bigger fuck up and looked at totally different, right? However, it's to a point where the rhetoric is so dangerous. I think they all need security. Everybody's outside, bitch, I'm inside. I'm not going nowhere. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. A bitch can't pay me to wear a campaign shirt. A bitch can't pay me to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm gonna wave a campaign sign on the corner for you. But I don't know what political positions people gonna have, and it can be different. I'm a personable guy. I've been in customer service since I was 13. But this politics shit is nothing to me, right? It's trivial. But I do realize people take very, very, very. You're very, very divisive. And very stuck in their fucking ways. You right, I need to stop cussing. Join the side, bro. Stop being scared. I'm a Democrat. But it ain't about being scared. It's a fact that, like, bruh, you can be outside your house and have security, and they have a sniper on the rooftop still. After they tried to assassinate a presidential candidate, they assassinated the CEO, and they killed off 2 state elected officials, and now they killed off Charlie Kirk. You think I'm going outside to say about shit, about politics? That's my point. But let's get back to Cuomo. Cuomo's hurt. That's a bit of what I was saying when I was muted, but I appreciate y'all. If it's your first time here, please make sure you like and subscribe. And guess what? We passed over 5,000 subscribers, y'all. I just checked it. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Everybody who chipped in a little bit tonight, I appreciate you so much. We've surpassed over 5,000 subscribers. We were at 400 in April. And people decided to say, hey, you know what? And it's crazy. I don't post a lot of videos. I really just do the live streams. But I don't get nobody going to watch my videos or my shorts after the live stream. So do me a favor. Just go check out some of my videos. I'm going to make some more. The content's not really there. I make shorts and the live streams, but we'll get there. But anyway, thank y'all for tapping in. Let's get back to Cuomo.
One is saying the right things. We need to come together. I don't know that we're not accelerating in the opposite direction. I hear people on the right saying, avenge him. And some on the left saying, this is what you get. We're not battling over ideas anymore. We're cheap and we're ugly. We've reduced conflict to enemies and animus. I think there's a better chance that we see more of this than less of it. And God, I hope I'm wrong. Charlie and I agreed on what matters most. And I'm not talking about on the personal level. Charlie was about his faith in his family. And for a young man, I was really impressed by it. Again, I did not agree with most of his political positions.
And you know what the crazy part is, and I'm gonna flip off Cuomo after this. That's no different from what Obama said in 07, 08 when he ran, if y'all remember. And people get scared, they cling to their what? Guns and religion. Charlie Kirk clung to his religion. But let's check out some of this commentary, because some people may have believed he was racist. Some people believe he was just preaching God's word at all the different college campuses. But if this is the word he was preaching that I'm about to show you, then, you know, you can make your own decision. Hold on, this is muted. Hold on, I caught that one. Hold on, what is mute on TikTok here? What the hell? Oh, it's in the corner. Wait, hold on. Gotta make sure my visuals look right on the vertical. That's better. No one said he was racist. Like what? They didn't.
And Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson, Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown and
Start over.
Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
Why is it that Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, and other conservatives like Donald Trump love to attack the brain power of black women? What is it? Like, even if, and Sheila Jackson said it earlier, it's like, yeah, she got, or later, I got into college with affirmative action, but affirmative action didn't keep me there because I graduated. And basically, like, you can let me in, but bitch, I could still flunk out. You at least got an opportunity with affirmative action. Some people tell you, well, you know, you made it and I didn't make it. Well, guess what? Shit. Fuck it. You're going to get in regardless. You don't get in, go to community college 2 years and get in if they were talking about education, talking about jobs. But it's never to a fact of saying, you know what, damn, this person's just stupid as shit, or belittling their mind in order to say they're not qualified. It can never be like, you know what, damn, you just don't have 2 certifications I don't have. Or you got 2 certifications I don't have. It's never that. It's always a belittling. And black people in this country and across the world are tired of being belittled in your arguments of bullshit. And that's why it's like some people are like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Not me. I didn't fuck with him. I just feel bad for his wife and kids.
You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
Wait, I'm not, wait. I'm not race baiting the man. You know, race baiting his death. I'm just posting what he said and how people feel about him. Look, I didn't make this. This is somebody else's TikTok. But if every conservative argument, respectfully, if every conservative argument about black women is belittling their education and their mind, then what the fuck is it if it's not racism? Just let's take racism out of it. Every black woman is dumb? Based on what? I'll let you explain. I have no problem with Charlie Kirk. Again, I feel sorry for his wife. But this is the shit he said. And if people have an opinion about what he said and it goes that way, then what do you want me to do besides, okay, cool. I can see how they feel that way. I'm not attacking a man in death, calling him a racist. The racists believe he was a racist. I think that's what Andrew Gillum said.
Even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own.
You can be smart enough to be in Congress. You can be smart enough to pass law school. You can be smart enough to have over 70,000 people elect you to a position in the United States Congress, but you're not smart enough to, come on now. Where does the narrative come from? I just want to understand that.
Make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course, that's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course.
Dude, some people ever think that before affirmative action, to be fair, right? Because I'm not an affirmative action recipient or a DEI beneficiary. I didn't even get PPP loan or fucking, what was the shit they gave out during the pandemic? I didn't get one of those checks either, right? I'm an entrepreneur. However, this Charlie Kirk shit is just crazy. Respectfully. I'm gonna go back 2 seconds. It's just crazy to think that now we have to sit here and actually listen to this shit he was saying if he just ignored him before. It's just wild.
They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson.
All historic black woman, the first lady, black first woman. Okay, cool. Ketanji Jackson, you mean to tell me you can get on the Supreme Court and not be good at what the fuck you do? Come on now. You could say it's DEI. You can say it's diversity. I know where I was going before. Where was shit before affirmative action? If affirmative action wasn't in place, do you think that minorities would have still been able to get positions where they were? Some yes, some no. But I think when they removed it, it set a level playing field. So, okay, cool. Affirmative action was out the window. Because I believe in the 90s and early 2000s, affirmative action wasn't an issue. For me, at least, right? You heard about it, it's over. Affirmative action is dead. Look at all this other shit. University of Michigan. Cool. That transformed into DEI. And I get it. I try to get it from both sides. I just don't understand how every black person who can achieve anything is automatically DEI or affirmative action. You feel me? It's like, do y'all think none of us are qualified? That's the part. It's like, I can see how a lot of black folks are like, yeah, fuck this guy. I don't give a shit. I can see that, but I'm not saying it's justified.
They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies. That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through our Joy.
All the liberals, the black people, all the motherfuckers who claim they're on the side of the progressives coming on here saying, guys, show sympathy for Charlie Kirk. Watch them niggas. I'm gonna say, watch them niggas, cause they the ones who gonna sit right here and fuck y'all the fuck up just because they sympathize with the ops. Just because y'all sympathize with motherfuckers who can give two fucks about y'all, right? Now, like, and then the crazy thing about it is Charlie Kirk literally sat up here and promoted white supremacy. Right?
I'm not saying that.
Harms against our community, the gay community, so many other fucking communities. He promoted harm against white children because he rather white kids get shot the fuck up than take away guns, right? And he's one of the statistics of gun violence. Now we all got to show sympathy. I ain't got to show sympathy for a goddamn body.
See, I'm not saying all of that shit, right? And I see a guy in the comments say I'm a bigot. Adam, thank you for commenting. Thank you for boosting engagement. I don't feel like I'm a bigot. It is what it is. But I'm not saying half the shit she said. But thank you for tapping in. Adam, you're boosting engagement every time you comment. Here's the thing, Adam. You're staying on the page. You're commenting. So it's showing them that, you know, hey, it's there. We can disagree here. That's fine. I'm not blocking no negative comments. They're boosting engagement. See, that's the good thing about social media. Adam is boosting engagement like a bitch. Love it. All his. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I must keep listening to old girl for a second. See what she has to say is y'all tap into me tapping into what people are saying on TikTok.
I ain't got to do shit personally. And I'm seeing way too many black people. I seen the same motherfuckers who I sit right here and seen y'all justify harassing black women. Justify doxing black women, talk about show sympathy for that nigga. Y'all some white worshiping ass motherfuckers. I swear to God. That's the only thing I can make of it. Y'all worship white people. Y'all worship white people. The only reason y'all are bothered by white people talking about white supremacy is simply because they don't fucking like y'all and not because of the actual.
No, mind you, again, I ain't said shit about no white supremacy the whole time we've been here.
Hey, black people, before you start, yes, Charlie Kirk got pew-pew. This is not our fight. They literally kill us for less. Do not get on here talking about, and no, just because you don't agree with somebody politically means that. Stop it. Because I've already started seeing it. Stop. Let the white folks deal with that shit. It was a white-on-white crime. This is not our time to be black saviors to these motherfucking devils. Fuck.
No, see, I ain't say that shit either. See, y'all be, oh, I'm a bigot, I'm all this other shit. Yeah, keep boosting engagement. Guess what, Adam? I love it. The issue is you have some people with this mindset that are out here, right? Because all they know is the racist, the white supremacist shit, whatever narrative that your boy put out here, right? Oh, let me straighten up a little bit.
20 times. You get on my mother. Hey, black.
She said black people is not our fight. I think it is. Because again, if it happened to Sharpton or Crump or any other black leader out here in these streets talking about whatever they saying to galvanize their people, we're going to have some conspiracies on our side too. Just let's be for real.
Teachers, especially if you're in Texas, especially if you're in red area, do not, I repeat, do not post anything online making fun of that man's death. Even if he was a raging white supremacist, do not post anything making fun of that man's death, because those other raging white supremacists will use that to get you up out of there. Don't post, don't post. Even be careful with your reposts. Do what everybody else is doing. Scroll and nod. Chuckle a little bit and scroll. Send all the funny witty videos to your friends in the group chat. Scroll. Don't publicly comment. Don't be in the comment section or nothing. Like me, I had typed on one comment, in Utah? It wasn't a nigga inside in Utah. And then I had to go back and delete it a little bit because I was like, damn, don't do that. Don't post nothing about getting ready to put some meat on a barbecue pit. Don't post nothing about who next. Drop your guesses in the chat box. Teachers, especially teachers that look like me, we cannot partake in the funnies going on right now. You will be unemployed. Them people will try to get you up out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. We cannot join in the
Hey, that's the message to the people. But again, I don't think you should be celebrating nobody's death. Again, you know, you can disagree on who he was as a person, which I disagree. I think he was a piece of shit person, but I don't think he should have went out the way he did, right? What it is. But I also feel sorry for his wife and his kids. I feel my heart goes out to his wife and his kids. But I'm not going as hard as the rest of them. Adam's still here. Adam, keep boosting engagement, man. I appreciate you. Y'all need help. Who was y'all? I didn't do nothing. I'm just on here sharing they stuff, man.
Sit this one out.
Criminality does not discriminate. Criminality comes in all colors. Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace. Sending my condolences to his family. But he said that black people are leading in homicides. He said that black people are leading in raping and in kidnapping. But what's so sad on this day, his life was taken by a white man. Criminality has no color. It does not discriminate. Peace and love.
Everybody have their thing pieces. Everybody have their thing pieces. Not everybody's going to agree with it. Some people are really hurt.
How do black people not have access to a better life in America? What's preventing them?
What's preventing black people from having a better life in America?
Yes. What's preventing them?
Police, the government.
Hold on.
This is the part I've seen this clip before. The problem is you get these black people who only say to police as if education is an issue, which can then be a whole extrapolated conversation about public school, charter school, private schools. You know, I'm big on education on this channel, right? Police aren't the biggest issue in the black community. So when you honestly giving him the fuel to the fire to say this, it's like, bro, you're easily showing you're uneducated in your position. But then I have no issue. I don't know this guy. But it's to a point of saying like, damn, we built this narrative that the police are the issue. And when people make these narratives and they make this fight against conservatives, against the movement, it doesn't hold weight because it's like, damn, okay. Well, what about this? And we just, that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue to me is education, because if these kids can't read by the third grade reading level, by third grade, the reading proficiency, go to prison pipeline, building beds for them, right? But guess what? Colin Powell even had some reading issues or educational issues. But he was on the 4-Up program. Started reading his autobiography recently. But it proves that, you know, as long as you catch it and you can invest in it and sustain it, you can still grow. This is in the 40s and 50s. So it's to a point of saying education is a bigger obstacle in the black community because ignorance is bliss, and you can kind of see it. Like Young Thug and Woody and all this other shit. It's kind of like you could tell the mindset of Woody versus Young Thug. Education over the police, because the police only gonna bust the most uneducated of them all. My 2 cents.
No. Police. How many unarmed black men die? How many unarmed black men die on the hands of from the hands of police every year?
The unarmed black men? Are you serious?
How many?
Charlie Kirk, we're talking about something.
How many? No, you just said police. How many unarmed black men die at the hands of police every year?
Did I say that is the reason why
you just said police?
Policing is an issue.
How? You're right. We don't have enough police on the streets of black neighborhoods.
The police department is well more funded than our normal.
What is the number one cause of black death?
To my black people, this is not our fight. Stay out of it. It's not our fight. They said violence had no place in politics. They weren't saying that during the civil rights, back when they was assassinating us then. It didn't apply then. Let it fly now. It's not our fight.
I agree with that. Yeah, so then if people choose to do crack cocaine and therefore your kids don't have a dad around, that's your own choice. If you choose to commit crimes and you're in, that's your own choice.
Yeah,
but no other community has had this problem. Why is Black America have this problem?
I think there's a direct link between the industrial complex and incarceration.
Well, how does one get to?
And the profiling African Americans.
Well, hold on. But first of all, it's not a profiling when it comes to that. Blacks are far more likely to commit crimes than any other group associated. It's like 3 to 4.
Okay, I get it. Okay, blacks are more likely to commit crime. Okay, you can be in the chat and believe that. I bet there are more white people in jail than black people. By number, I don't give a fuck. Look at total population. Not per capita, not by this in Chicago. No. Look at hard raw numbers. So you're likely to get fucking murdered, attacked by white people, in my opinion, than blacks. Now, black on black crime issue, yes. White on white crime is issue. How is white on white crime issue? We've seen it today. Welcome to America.
4 times more likely. It's not even close. So how is that?
Well, I'm not here to debate numbers because I don't have the numbers.
It's okay. When you get home, you can look at it. Black Americans are 13% of the population. They commit 55% of the violent crime.
I agree with that.
That's bullshit.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year.
Yeah. We'll get to his whole clip. And I know y'all may not be enjoying this section of the stream today, but we're just going through TikToks and hearing what people have to say. But honestly, there's power in the tongue.
Yeah, until it's you. Until it is you. Words are spells. And if you challenge the universe, right? If you make a challenge to the universe, don't be surprised when the universe accepts it. Bigoted, racist people have this weird belief that when it is time for punishment, that everybody else will be punished, but not them. This is why they are so comfortable with voting against the large majority of the population, because they want to be the people dishing out the punishment. They want to see other groups of people suffer. Somebody once asked me why I wasn't voting for Donald Trump, right? I told them because I don't simply vote for myself, because economically, financially, hey, I would probably fall into the group of people that would benefit. But I actually vote for other people. I vote for my neighbors. I vote for the people who can't vote. I vote for the people who struggle. I vote for the people who don't understand the policies in which they are reading. He made his career off of saying mass unalivings is not a big thing.
Let me ask you a question. What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them?
I cannot think of a percentage right now to give you.
25%. So only 1 out of 4 blacks in America have a mom and a dad around. Do you think that is a bigger issue to address than racism? Do you think more dads is a better solution, or tackling racism, which you say you can't even see in our laws?
Honestly, I don't think either one of them, to be honest. I didn't have a dad in my life, you know, sperm donor for what it was and whatever. I don't see neither of those as a problem. Because racism, I think, is an individual thing. Until you experience racism, you don't know what racism is, right? people are spewing these narratives that really boil people's bloods, but unless it really affects your day-to-day life, you know, it is what it is. People don't give a shit. But I honestly feel neither one of those. And it's just a forced narrative. Like, we have to take the most economically depressing, lowest rated stance and flip it and be like, you know what? Why is this an issue? And just ignore the shit as if the world just started in 2020. That we're not going back to 2000. Like, how do we get on the internet? Not even going back to the basis of energy or even the fucking light bulb, right? We just want to start today and say, hey, why haven't y'all fixed this problem as a collective community? And it is a problem, because I think that, and it kind of goes into Charlie's point a little bit, and I think some people will get it later. It kind of goes into the foundational Black American mindset, right? Where, you know what? We've had all these atrocities happen to our people over time, the history of America. This country owes us. Our people that come from another country come here, migrate here, build a family, build a legacy, start a business, whatever. And they're like, you know what? I dealt with racism, but it wasn't a crutch. I dealt with the bullshit. I've dealt with racist white people, with racist Asian people, racist Black people. African booty scratcher and all the other shit that doesn't come from white people, I would assume, right? So the statement, not the little piece of it. But to me, it gets to a point of saying, okay, cool. What have foundational Black Americans not solved that these conservatives are basically pimping this narrative on to say, hey, Black people, hear your problems. You know, if fathers were in the home, this will be that. Okay, cool. But what about the issue is, I guess, there must be a few number of Black kids that come out of single mother homes that are successful. Not everyone's LeBron James, right? I get it, but they make it seem as if there's no success out of that at all. But do I feel it's needed? Yes, I feel a father's needed in the home. I'm a father in the home. But I don't think it's the end-all be-all. I don't think racism or a father in the home should be the end-all be-all solution for Black people in America. Because they're going to go back to the 40s and pre-segregation and slavery times, but we're not doing that.
How could dads be connected directly? Like, how
dads are very connected.
And what about, okay.
When you have a dad around, you're less likely to be violent as a male, less likely to go to prison.
So explain to me why all the fathers are leaving.
Exactly. Why are they leaving?
Question for you.
Because Black women married the government and divorced the men that they were once with.
Talk about white people right now.
I'm sorry, I'm a realist, not a racist. Secondly, see, you could come up to the mic and call me a racist to my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away? Let me ask you a question.
This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it! Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people! Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now! I'm so pissed! Yeah.
Is that how Adam felt? Is that how y'all felt when I was saying anything about him? And again, I don't have nothing against Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? Again, I feel sorry for his wife and his family. On the conservative movement, it is what it is, right? It's politics. This is an actual person. Human, outside the bullshit, right? But this is how when Adam was calling me a bigot earlier, I don't know if he's still here. He didn't know he was boosting engagement. I appreciate it, but that's how I imagine most conservatives are today, and that's actually kind of sad. I gotta see it again though.
This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now.
I don't.
Bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? God.
Americans, about 13 to 14% of the population. Yes.
That's a lot of people, Utah. Tell you what.
See, wait. See, we here. we're here. We get a good panoramic of this, right? Now we know which angle he got shot from. So you mean to tell me you know he's coming to campus? Y'all don't have no security on none of these buildings? Again, I said on the stream, it's two things that are happening here after President Trump almost gets assassinated as a former president who was a presidential candidate. The CEO, Luigi killed the CEO of the insurance company. 2 elected officials in Minnesota were killed by a fake undercover cop. And now Charlie Kirk is assassinated. So you mean to tell me before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, you're having an event like this, nothing in FBI, CIA, law enforcement's light bulb said, you know what? Let's cover the fucking roof. Let's make sure 200, 500, 1,000 yards away, nobody can hit whoever the fuck it is. Because guess what? We don't even assassinate. Excuse me, that's the fruit I ate earlier, the fruit. That's strawberry, excuse me, y'all. I mean to burp in y'all face. You mean to tell me that no law enforcement stepped up to secure none of this? Clearly, this is going to change the entire political landscape, the entire public event landscape. I don't think there will be another damn concert happening without some damn snipers. I've seen a video of a sniper on top of an NFL game the other day. But they didn't have a counter sniper for Charlie Kirk, which is absolutely crazy. Now, I'm not saying Charlie needed Secret Service, but there needs to be at least something in law enforcement, the FBI, the CIA. Some of these figures need something more than the fucking security they have now, drones or something, right? But look again. This, I don't know where the shot may have came from. Had to be over here. Cause ain't shit over here. That's absolutely wild.
We're gonna be here for a couple hours.
Nah. Oh yeah, technically.
Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer. That's a lot of people.
That's sad.
Being mad at black people for not caring that Charlie Kirk died is absolutely outrageous. Would y'all expect a Jewish person to care if a Nazi died? No. So why would y'all expect us to care if a Republican died? Especially a Republican that's a Trump supporter that vocally expresses hatred and dislike for black people.
See, I wasn't even saying all that, see? Oh boy was going off on me in the comments. Y'all bigot, whatever, right? Listen. I wasn't even going that hard. Respectfully. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I wasn't going that hard.
Can we please use our thinking caps? And quick question. Did the Republicans care about Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X, and Fred Hampton's family when they killed him, assassinated them? No, they didn't. So
wait a minute. Now, see, that's different time frames, young ladies. See, during Dr. King and Malcolm X, that was more Democratic leadership because the Democrats had the House until 1995, like 1955 to 1995, right? So at least for 40 years of that time frame, the Democrats were in control. So it wasn't really the Republicans because the Democrats, those Republicans who were Dixiecrats, didn't become Republicans until like the 95 election. That was like President Clinton's term, right? So, and this is just off the dome. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments, right? So the Fred Hampton piece too, yeah, that would all be under Democratic leadership. It wouldn't necessarily be under Republican. So, and I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative. I'm moderate to an extent, right? But I'm a Democrat registered. But collectively, some of that was wrong, right? So I don't know what Republicans may have said at the time, but I think you should blame Democrats because they were in power and Republicans were the minority, kind of like Democrats are now.
why would I care about his family and friends? You get what I'm saying?
It's called reverence for life. That's another thing. She mentioned, would a Jew have respect for a Nazi or someone else? And I think, you know, this could be good extremes, right? Not good for the acts, of course, but whatever. I think there's a point of they call reverence for life. If I don't want to take life, if I don't want to lose my life, I don't take life. I have respect for life, you know? And I think if you have respect for life, reverence again for life, you don't take life. So I think the whole notion of I can disagree with you. Think about it like this. I can disagree with you on LeBron James and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant being the 1, 2, 3 best players in NBA history, right? If somebody comes in with Wilt Chamberlain as a damn argument, and we're going down hard with this argument, and we end up going to college campuses to have this debate, and somebody talks about Wilt, I shouldn't have to be assassinated for my opinion about Michael Jordan being the best player. We should be able to agree to disagree and say, you know what, damn, okay, I don't agree with you on this Trump shit, but I agree with you on some Remy. I agree with you on some Blue Moon with the orange slice, right? I think that we do have a lot more in common, but then the politics divides us so much, and then the bullshit narratives gets even worse, right? I'm not saying we should be mournful as black people. What I'm saying is, you know what? This shit ain't right. This shit ain't right one way or another, because if it was Al Sharpton last week during his March on Wall Street about DEI, I couldn't have called him a poverty pimp again, one, but at the same time, we would have been like, what the fuck? This is exactly how they're taking it. Because even if you didn't fuck with Al Sharpton, you'll be like, you know what, damn, he wouldn't deserve to go out like Charlie Kirk did, right? I think it's more that fact of like, damn, this is fucked up on another level. So yes, black people should care. Because if you say, oh yeah, we don't give a shit, fuck Charlie Kirk, we don't give a shit, then okay, cool, guess what? The next one, if they take Dr. Umar out, you can't say shit. We gotta care. Because as much as y'all be like, well, Dr. Umar, he ain't built that damn school, and he was just on here begging for money, talking about his savings to his checking to his checking to his savings. And now we're to a point of saying, well, damn, they done took Umar ass out. We're going to be like, what the fuck is a conspiracy? That's the same shit. This is a Dr. Umar. This was a conservative Dr. Umar. But the issue is for the foundational Americans, not the foundational black Americans, because they're still trying to get it together. The foundational Americans control politics. So they killed the Dr. Umar, the conservative Dr. Umars who died. Right? And I hate to say it that way, but it's real, because it's at least more organized than anything Dr. Umar done preached. And Dr. Umar be preaching kind of the same shit, just the opposite end of the spectrum, but begging y'all for money. Charlie had his own millionaires, billionaires backing him with the bullshit and passing laws and helping get motherfuckers elected and going college to college, galvanizing the next generation. Dr. Umar was still building a school that never got built.
And please don't get in my comments saying just because white people do it to us, they don't care when they kill us, that we supposed to care when they get killed. Fuck that. Like, why y'all always telling us to be the better person, or turn the other cheek, or don't stoop down to their level, or don't fight violence with violence? Not doing that is exactly
something you can always count on when an evil person dies is Christians coming to their defense. And you know,
I love you, and you know what I think? I think you really want a big black dick up your ass.
Well, you seem pleasant. Are you married?
Was your mom married?
Are you married?
Because I got a call from the doctor. She missed her fucking abortion.
You seem so sweet.
Charlie, you seem so fucking stiff and white. Do you have a stick up your ass?
Is there something wrong with being white?
Charlie, is there something wrong with a stick in your ass is what I'm asking. I love you, Charlie. You're the best comedian. You're the best fucking comedian on.
Do you want a hat?
You're the best one.
She wants a hat. Can you wear it?
Oh, wow. Listen. They wildin', man.
I love you.
Get off there
Let me
talking
also
to
speak to some of the young ladies here in high school where your top, if you were, who's here where your top priority is get married and have kids? Raise your hand. Okay. Interestingly, I think there is an argument to bring back the MRS degree. And no, seriously. And just be clear, that's why you're going to college, right? Don't lie to yourself, I'm studying sociology. No, you're not. We know why you're here. And that's okay, actually. And that's a really good reason to go to college, actually, especially an SEC school. Like, you will find a husband if you have the intent to find a husband at Ole Miss. Like, it's just going to happen, okay? Or wherever. We should bring back the celebration of the MRS degree. which is, no, serious. I mean, if you think about it, like I say college is a scam, but if you're going to find your life partner, like that's actually a really good reason to go to college. You have a bunch of people that are single, you know, they're at the prime of their, you know, let's just say attractiveness. The dating pool is as robust as you'll ever find, and they all live together over a 4-year period. Like you don't get much better than that, okay? It doesn't get better after college there. And
why is everybody mad about the man that said he thinks it's worth it that there be some kind of gun violence every year to keep the Second Amendment protecting their God-given rights? He literally did what he said he wanted. Like, I'm confused. Are we I don't understand. He literally, like, that's literally what he said. Go watch my last repost, because I keep trying to put it on this video, but it's copywritten. But he literally said himself, I think it's worth it that we lose some people every year to pew-pew violence because it helps protect the Second Amendment right. And I say now is the time to get Black AF history, the unwhitewashed.
And I know y'all could be like, oh, well, hip hop, you putting out think pieces by streaming this. It's like, no, it's not necessarily a think piece. It's like, I said my piece earlier, and I'm gonna say it later. Like, that shit was gruesome, bro. That shit was honestly some of the nastiest, craziest shit I ever seen in my life. And they hit a group chat, and it was just a link that didn't say anything. And somebody said, I didn't even know what the fuck I was watching. I know they didn't shoot him. I hope you didn't know. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I click it, and I see Charlie sitting there. Then they clock, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? Kennedy assassination style. It was just fucking crazy to see. And even looking at it now, I had chills for a minute.
Story of America.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Oh shit, this nigga dead, y'all. Oh no, when this happened, niggas dying dead, ain't never died before.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
What? Did y'all hear this shit?
Oh shit,
did you hear this shit?
Dead, y'all. Oh no, when this happened, niggas dying dead, ain't never died before.
I'm sorry, if I see
Hey, let's just stop talking about our lives. So problems do not disappear.
I actually don't think it's an issue nearly as much as you do. I think we've made it a bigger issue.
I'm not making it a bigger issue. I'm just discussing. This is just my
No,
talking
I'm saying generally. But like, let's just say, and then I do want to get your definition though. What is racism?
Racism is a form of feeling superiority. It is expressed through discrimination and through the legal system.
Oh, fair enough. So we agree that's wrong and it's terrible. So we should get rid of practices that actively discriminate against anybody based on race. Can you be racist against white people?
Can I?
Yes. No, can a black person like yourself be racist against a white person?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. We agree, and you should be applauded for that because most people.
I agree with that too, to be real, but black people, about whole gonna say, well, black people can't be racist because we don't have any social constructs or powers. Like, fuck all that. If you don't like motherfucking racism, bitch, you can be racist against a bitch too. Like, what the fuck you talking about? You can be stereotypes. No, you can be racist too. Black people is just like any other people. We're humans. People don't like people for some odd reason. Maybe because how they were raised. But I hate to see it that way, but it's America. Racism, then classism. What do we have to say? It's us.
Some people on the left think you can't be racist against white people.
So just to speak for black people.
That's quite a statement, but sure.
Well, let me speak for the majority of who are of my opinion. So when blacks who, let's say, have disdain for whites, it is not based in racism. It is based in cause and effect. It is normal for anybody to hate a suppressor. It is normal for anybody to hate It is normal for anybody to hate their murderers. America went to war with the British Empire for being suppressed and oppressed. So my concluding point is that we A lot of the hate that can be perceived from blacks as white is hating oppression, not
He will
not
avenge
white
you.
people. Because if you substitute our oppression for a Mexican, if a Mexican oppresses us, we therefore hate him as well. If a black man oppresses us, we therefore hate oppression.
I think that's a fair point. Let me ask one final question. If that
Let's flip off that. Let me get us some speeches.
Define what you think should be free.
Define all humans should have healthcare, regardless if
What
they're
is healthcare?
the right to see a doctor.
At any time for any reason?
Yes.
Paid for by somebody else.
Paid by the rich.
Is abortion healthcare?
Yes.
Got it. So we should pay for other people's abortions. Got it.
Yes.
Is breast augmentation healthcare?
Yes.
Okay, so we should pay for everyone's boob jobs. Got it. Is massage therapy healthcare?
Yes.
Okay, so we should pay for everyone massages. Got it. Is acupuncture healthcare?
Yes.
Got it. So basically, healthcare is not actually immediate needs, it's lifestyle. Rich would have to pay for everyone getting massages, acupuncture.
90%.
So who is rich?
Listen, the upper income people like doctors, surgeons, they should pay.
How much?
Oh, for the doctors and surgeons?
What should the tax rate be for someone making $1 million a year?
65%.
Got it. So let's play that out in California. In California, if you earn $1 million a year and 65% of it goes to the federal government, 13% goes to the state government, then you have property tax, sales tax. So therefore, 85% of everything you earn. So making $1 million a year, you keep $150,000. Is that fair?
Yes.
That's fucking silly. And that's a liberal logic that kills shit. Now, I'm no Charlie Kirk fan. Don't get it twisted. Right? Again, we have reverence for life over on this channel. But it's a simple fact of saying, respectfully, some liberals just make dumbass points. It's the Bernie Sanders shit, right? You can talk about a living wage and all the rest of the shit for years, but unless somebody can tell you how much that actually is, which they can't tell you, you're just speaking bullshit for years, and I get sick of it. But it's just, imagine another generation on the other side. You have the conservatives who just lost their leader, then the liberals on the other side lost the shit, saying, yeah, you make $1 million in a year, you should only walk away with $150,000 and be justified and say, yeah, that's right. Fuck out of here.
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. You will never live in a society with an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is.
Again, I know stuttering got me stuttering. Sometimes you put words into an atmosphere that just, you don't know God's timing. And this clip is going to get used to death, especially over tomorrow, 9/11, or 9/11 today. Wow. Thank y'all for tapping into the new day.
It is rational.
It's wild.
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you
What
won't
else
have a
they
single
got
gun
here?
death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of
First, you on about to tap out
gun
soon,
deaths
y'all.
every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live black pilot. I'm going to be like, boy, if I see a black complete alternate universe, I'm sorry.
The people who are saying I was a bigot because the man just got assassinated today. Cool. What does this even mean? The premise of it, to the conversation, I know it's only a clip. The premise of it was United Airways basically passed a provision saying, hey, we're going to put more diverse pilots, more black minority pilots in the cockpit, but you need at least 10,000 hours to fly. So they have to be certified some kind of way. But so even the notion of the question be like, damn, if we're at least making it more open to have more black pilots, why is the first thing to say, is it qualified? Are they qualified to fly? You wouldn't say that if she was a secretary. Is she qualified to answer this phone and take notes? But I do understand the importance of a pilot. But I do feel that no airline is going to risk millions, hundreds, millions of dollars, hundreds of passengers, a reputational hit for having multiple pilots who can't fly planes. Because what's going to happen? They're going to fuck around and crash. What are we talking about?
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
It's comments like this that have gone viral before today that make some people say, you know what, yeah, you could be like, yeah, it's black fatigue, it's black fatigue. It's not. Black people got to get tired from somewhere. You just don't get fatigued from doing nothing. Right? Maybe the black fatigue is like, damn, we tired of hearing this shit. What else do we have to do? If we're a pilot and we have our wings and we finally get a job and we're able to fly and there's a shortage of pilots, your question is, I hope he's qualified. What else do you have to do? We're tired of running and achieving and still being sit here and talk to like your former leader, Charlie Kirk, and being like, damn, what else the fuck do we have to do to be accepted? To be like, you know what, damn, I'm happy they got a damn black pilot, man. You know what, shit, I'm tired of seeing old Ken in here, 85 years old flying. At least you got a young guy in here. It's not about age. It's not about age. That's the problem people have with celebrating his life right now. Because it's like, listen, they look at the negatives. Marjorie Taylor Greene can say, hey, you talked about God on campuses and all these other positive things, but people are going to remember this soundbite.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
You truly, in your heart.
It's a reality the left has created. So you're so ingrained in politics, you're gonna just change your values. It's not how you think. Then why would politics change your inner values if you didn't think that way? Maybe somebody should ask someone yesterday.
Heart of hearts, truly believe that this is a human being. This,
without a doubt.
Without a doubt?
Yes.
This is a dolphin fetus.
So let me.
Without a doubt, a dolphin fetus is a human being. This is a human fetus. Look how similar they look, but quite different. Dolphin.
We already defeated one presidential candidate, so we might as well now defeat another one. And what an honor, what a time to be alive in the most important election of our lifetime. I'm traveling the country, going to college campuses. We're organizing in the grassroots. We're talking to so many voters that know it is time for change. They know that something is wrong. They're tired of sending $200 billion overseas to Ukraine while we can't secure our southern border. They're tired of seeing our homeless vets while we prioritize foreigners that come into our country. And by the way, what an insult to the legal immigrants in this country that we allow illegals to get luxury hotels who cut in line. They know that something is wrong. And many of you waited hours and hours in line. By the way, who here was waiting in line overnight? We saw that. It was unbelievable. You're right up here, 24 hours in line. Because you know you are part of something bigger than yourself.
Laughing at the dead. Nobody laughing at the dead.
You know that you are part of the most exciting, diverse, powerful movement in the history of this country. And this movement is not about Republican or Democrat. This movement is not about conservative or liberal. And I think you're going to see that on display in a little bit, just maybe. This movement is about the citizens versus the oligarchs. This movement is about we the people versus the ruling class. This movement is about America versus the globalists. This movement
is about all of us against them.
My name is Nath, and I'm a journalism student here at the University of Florida. And I think you mentioned free speech in the last conversation about 6 or 7 times. What do you think is the precedent that it sets when a sitting president bans a news organization from the press pool because they won't use the government-approved terminology that's on your shirt?
It's perfectly acceptable. The same way that Joe Biden banned a lot of conservative media from the reporting room. I mean,
Joe Biden didn't ban any conservative media.
Breitbart, One America's News Network,
For the
Real America's Voice. There were a lot of press passes that were denied under the prior administration under Joe Biden.
Joe Biden did not have control over the White House press pool. That's an independent organization that has functioned for the last 50 years.
Well, if that's correct, why did the judge side with Trump?
Excuse me?
So AP sued Trump.
Yeah.
And lost because Trump actually does have jurisdiction over the White House press pool.
Trump does not have jurisdiction over the White House press pool. The judge ruled that it wasn't an immediate emergency.
Okay, but let me ask you, I think it's an interesting question.
I believe the judge did say that it was very concerning.
If Trump does not have power over who's allowed on White House grounds, who does?
An independent organization that's separate from politics, because I think it's very concerning when the government gets to choose who covers them.
No, I think that's an interesting question. So, constitutionally, what you're saying is that an independent organization should be allowed to say who could set foot on government turf.
Go back and watch from the beginning.
Yes.
How is that constitutional?
Well, I mean, it's not part of the press has never been part of the Constitution.
Well, no, it's actually in the First Amendment. But like,
no, the First Amendment says that Congress shall pass no law abridging the freedom of the press.
No, I know, correct. But Article 2 of the Constitution, it says all power shall be vested in a president. So doesn't the president have the ability, the power, if he so chooses, of who comes on Article 2 ground and who does not?
So the president should not have control over who covers him. I mean, would you support...
Oh, they can still cover him outside of White House grounds.
Would you support Joe Biden banning Fox News from the White House press pool?
Would I support it? No, I'd be outraged about it, obviously.
So do you understand the outrage when the AP is banned?
But he has the power to do it. Outrage and power are two different things. So
absolutely.
You're making a constitutional argument and then a moral argument. I can get to the moral one. Does Trump have the power to do it?
Yes.
Okay, we agree. So he's not doing anything illegal.
I would not say he's doing anything illegal.
Okay, we agree. Now, is he doing anything wrong? Well, the Associated Press is deciding not to call what was once called the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. That is not living in factual or journalistic reality. That's them saying that we're going to name whatever we want to name whatever we want. Why should they continue to get a White House press pass when they do that?
So they're an international organization and they have international standards. The Associated Press doesn't just do news for the U.S. and nobody else calls the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And I think the more pressing issue is you have somebody choosing the terminology that a news organization can use.
Well, okay, I can kind of see where you're coming at, but I would say more pressingly, though,
I think that's the most pressing.
The president does have the authority to rename gulfs, rivers, mountains legally.
Yeah, he could name Mount Rushmore Mount Trump.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. Well, just wait, it might happen. So, but I guess more concretely, how is it an attack on the press to say that you're not allowed on White House grounds if you don't comply with our standards? It's just a matter of standards.
Because it fosters a culture of retaliation if you don't use the government-approved terminology.
Nice little debate.
I just want to say I'm a transgender male. What age should kids be able to get things like hormone therapy? Because I don't know what's true, what's not.
Tell me, are you comfortable telling me your story?
I've known that since like 3rd grade, and I'm currently 19, almost 20. I've known basically since then. I didn't start going by like a different name until 7th and 8th grade. I just don't know, like with the whole medical stuff, like what's true, what's not, what's helpful, because I've heard so many different opinions.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body.
Mm-hmm.
I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think what you need first and foremost is just a diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Just someone that is going to listen to what you've gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you, and again, very few people will say this,
I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born.
Yeah.
I know that you might not feel that way, but I think that is something that you can achieve. I think that with the right team and the right people, you don't have to wage war on your body. You can learn to love your body.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. It's actually a powerful piece. If anything, even though y'all trying to make me racist and bigot and all other stuff.
Let me also speak to some
I
of the young
appreciate y'all,
ladies
but,
here in
yeah.
high school where you're top. If you were, who's
We don't serve the same God. You don't serve the same God as me. Anytime you can get online and celebrate the death of a man who gave his unsolicited opinion just like you do.
Amen.
To fix your mouth and make jokes about this man losing his life. This man was a husband. This man was a father.
Facts.
But to sit up and laugh and make jokes about it when you do exactly the same thing that he does, which is give your unsolicited opinion that nobody
Facts.
asked you for.
Facts.
There's somebody out there that don't like you either. There's somebody out there that don't like your opinions. There's somebody out there who would do the very same thing to you. So to sit up and laugh at somebody who only gave their opinion regardless of if you agree with it or not, thinking that it's okay for somebody to take that person's life and sit up and laugh about that, you don't serve the same God that I serve.
Amen to that. Come on now.
A lot of y'all wonder why y'all life is so messed up
Come
and why
on
you
now.
have the problems that you have. It's because you ain't got no God in you.
Come on now.
You don't serve a higher power, and it shows. A lot of y'all are demonic. You have some evil spirits. I never listened to Charlie Kirk like that.
Me
I would
either.
see his stuff come across my timeline every now and then with his controversial takes, but I've never seen anything that he's personally done to justify somebody doing this to him. There's nothing to justify doing this to this man, regardless if you agree with his opinion or not. My prayers go out to his family. This is just a messed up situation, but it goes to show you just how far people will go when they don't like what you're saying.
I mean, that may be the most powerful clip I've seen today about this. And if you were on the stream early when I was talking about his wife and my piece on that, it's like, that's who my heart goes out to the most, man. Like, I'm in politics. My wife's an educator. It's like, just because I have my beliefs and stuff, it shouldn't have to roll over on that, right? In profession, I go out and speak. I do my thing. You know, I say what I got to say out here in these streets, you know, make it happen. But there's a point of life where it's like, damn, I want to come home to my family outside the politics and the bullshit, right? Charlie probably did too. I don't know his wife. I don't know his kids. I don't know their names for real, but I know that they hurt. And I think exactly what she said. I think it, especially since she's black, because I think that's all the black fatigue is. Somebody put in the comments, 60% of y'all killing each other in the community. I think black fatigue also for us is y'all always thinking that we always the same. That the narrative fits all of us by the skin color. We all the real racists. Well, shit. Y'all are too then. Fuck it. If you want to call me racist, you are too, motherfucker. Get out of here. I'm a bigot. You a bigot too. You making fun of somebody when he died. Well, you just called the beginning of this stream. Or the end of this stream, excuse me. You didn't hear us in the beginning sharing our condolences. But all put together, we've been on here a couple hours. I think that's the best way to end it. Because collectively, this is a wild day in American history. Right? God bless Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife. It's very unfortunate what happened today, regardless of the evilness in the world, right? But my son's about to wake up. He's gonna be down here in a second. I hear him fumbling and rumbling. Either way, thank y'all for tapping into the stream. We put over 5,000 subscribers tonight. Charlie Kirk was not the subject that I want to stream about tonight, but clearly got to go with what's hot. So either way, thank y'all for tapping in. I don't know if Adam's still here. He was boosting engagement, calling me a bigot earlier. I'm not a bigot. We may have disagreed on this. I wasn't making fun of this dead man, and hopefully y'all don't start doxing, doing some crazy shit over my small account with less than 5,000, well, less than 10,000 subscribers. Either way, y'all have a good night. Man, block the bullshit. I need to get some better mods and to stream better so I can, get my consistent people back, Didi and the rest. But either way, thank you everybody who's contributed. Thank you again for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. I'm not asking for the money. I'm not asking for anything. It's up building community. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. But either way, thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's 9/11 tomorrow. My schedule's not too heavy, but we will be streaming tomorrow. A quiet remembrance of the people who've sacrificed so much. They were going to work. What it was. Either way, my son's crying. I got to go be a daddy. Y'all have a good night, man.